Hey all, Tom Moran here from Tom's Big Spiders, sitting up in my freezing cold attic in front of a green screen with the wind whistling around me doing this intro, which hopefully the wind doesn't make it into the video. But anyway, this is going to be an unboxing video for Lorex plastics and a review. I'll just tell you right off the bat, I love Lorex plastics. I've never had an issue with them. They're fantastic. So for folks looking for premium cages and are looking into getting into some of the acrylic, this is a nice option. Again, acrylic can be a little bit expensive, and one of the issues with acrylic is the fact that it can scratch easy, so be aware of that if you're setting up some fancy enclosures, that it does scratch. But if you're careful with it, it looks gorgeous in a display. So enough of me talking, let's get into the unboxing. All right, so just received a new enclosure in the mail. Those of you guys who have been following me for a while now know that I have several Lorex plastic enclosures. It's kind of convenient because the company's actually in my state of Connecticut. I picked up 3 several years ago. And the only issue with them back then was the fact that they used round vents or wire vents, and the tarantulas can chew through the mesh vents, which is what happened with my Lasiodora parahybana female, I think was the one that chewed through. It was either that or the Itabune, but I had to replace them all with plastic, which was easy enough, and I still use them. I have 3 of them right now. One of them has a Nandreux chromatus in it, one has a Lasiodora Itabune, and the other one has my big female L. parahybana. So anyway, while looking at the L. parahybana, we realized that the 5-6 gallon enclosure size that she's in now is getting way too small. So I went online looking for something else, and we found this bad boy here. Now, Lorex has their own website, but what I'm going to do is put a link to eBay because they seem to sell the majority of stuff out of eBay right now, and you can make offers on them so you can get them for a little cheaper than they were advertising. For this one here, it retails for $79.99 with shipping included, which I thought was an amazing deal because it's a 10-gallon acrylic container or tank. So what we're going to do is open this one up here, try not to cut myself, and hopefully Lily won't clomp around in the background too much. And the shipping always comes really fast because, again, or very quickly, because they're in my state, and my state is very, very tiny. Oh, this is new. We never got one of these before. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but anybody that wants to freeze it, and I've actually spoken to Ed before, really nice guy. And let's see what these look like. Here comes Lily. Old girl can be slurping around in the background. They've always come very well packed. I've never had any issues with them being damaged. Oh, the other one, the other enclosure I forgot about is my M. balfouri communal, was one of the Lorex plastic ones. And at the time I originally ordered, they only had the plastic vents. Lily's trying to help me, so, and Lily's clumping around. They only had the plastic vents in them. What they've done is gone to drilling some of the vent holes now, which is obviously much better for tarantulas. I like that much better. So for anybody that doesn't want to replace any of the vents, because they still have ones, you can still buy them with the wire mesh or the louvered vents, but you're going to have to replace them with plastic because they'll chew right through the metal. They can even rip through the louvered ones if they're metal. Let's open this one up. Dogs are super active today. Whoever commented that they missed the clicking, here's your clicking. All right, here we go. They got little feet on them now. Nice, little rubber feet. So this one has obviously the drilled holes in the side. Let's see if it has that squeak. No, it's not squeaking yet. 1/8-inch plastic. Now, again, we'll see how much these guys warp. The problem with acrylic, well, the 2 drawbacks of acrylic are, one, it scratches very easily. So if you're putting dirt in and you've got to dump the dirt out and clean it out, be very, very careful, because as you pour the dirt out, what it'll do is scratch all up the side. The other thing is that it can warp. There's types of acrylic that you can use that repel water much better. The water doesn't get into it as much and they don't warp as much, but it tends to be a lot more expensive. So here's the enclosure. I'll just step back so Billy can get a look at it. This is a 10-gallon. What we're going to do is probably plan it as a bioactive, and again, my Lasiodora parahybana will be going into that. Not today, so the second part of this video will probably be shot on a Saturday, which is tomorrow, but what we'll do is get a nice level of substrate in there, get a burr or hide over here, and we've got a nice thick pothos plant to put over there, and hopefully the pothos will spread out. The one concern I have is my Lasiodora species tend to dig everything up, and I have a funny feeling they are going to rip up these plants. It's one of the drawbacks to bioactives, or one of the things I've worried about with the bioactives, is some of my spiders will actually go at the plants. I have my P. Sosme right now in her enclosure. Maybe I'll put a quick picture up. She's actually started ripping her plant apart. It's kind of funny. She's like really not happy with it right now. But anyway, here we get Lorex plastics. $79.99 or best offer. You can make an offer on it and you can probably get it a little bit cheaper with shipping included, which I thought was fantastic. Beautiful enclosure. We'll see how well it holds up once we get some dirt in here. And the dimensions are 10 by 10 by 24. So good size container. And unlike a 10-gallon aquarium that would be shorter and have more height to it, this one's obviously dragged out with more floor space, which is better for the tarantulas. So there we go. Next step will be getting her in it. All right, so again, I've been buying from them for quite some time. I believe I bought my first 3 cages from them, oh God, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Back then, they were using round vents, the mesh ones, and always remember, tarantulas can chew through the wire mesh vents, so you don't want that. But they've since added drilled vents to their cages, which I believe are much more appropriate for tarantulas. So if I were getting a cage, I would not want a wire mesh vent, and I would not go with the plastic louvered ones personally, although they could probably work. I haven't seen them in person. I like the drilled holes. I think those are the best, at least for my purposes, what I like. Now, again, you can go on to their eBay site, or eBay page is probably the best place to get a hold of them. They do have a website, and I'll put that link below, but I've been doing my orders through eBay. You can contact them through eBay, and they will do custom cage work. So, for example, if you want to add vents in different areas, contact them, tell them what they want, they'll do it for you. Keep in mind, it will cost a little bit of extra money, but their prices are fairly reasonable. All right, so they also do custom work. So if you have an idea in mind that you want to run by them, doesn't hurt to ask, shoot them out a message, see if it's something they can do. It may cost you a little bit more because obviously it's not something they've got prefab and already got the patterns for. But if you're looking for something new and unique that fits your specific purposes, that might be the way to go. Personally, I'll be buying more from them. I almost hesitate to post this because I got a funny feeling when I go to buy more cages, there won't be any there because a lot of people are going to buy them. So try to save me one of at least this type of enclosure because I do need a couple more. Anyway, that'll do it for this one. As always, if you enjoyed it enough that you'd like to subscribe, very much appreciated. Click the circle right up in there. If you want to check out some more videos ahead of time, you can find them over there. Feel free to leave a comment. I answer all comments. Might take me a couple days, but know that if you take the time to comment, I'm going to take the time to respond to you. Hope everybody out there is safe. Hope you enjoyed this bonus video. Have a great one. We'll catch you next time.